up below, this is Lady Moxie, and who do I have with me? Deborah.
Oh.
Oh, back for it.
Get it.
And while they
How about
argue,
you, back
my
up?
name is Demo. Thanks for
Deborah
having
J.
me in the studio.
Let me get a little mic shine, Jay Reed on one, two, I don't know.
All up on. Such a beat.
Yes, all of them. Okay, I wanted to start off by asking my co-host who you, and you can't cheat because you've seen the answer already. Who do you think is the longest lasting couple in Hollywood? Not married, because, you know, that don't really happen in Hollywood. Longest couple together, on record.
Like active right now.
Yes,
I'm trying to think like, Jay and Will, been together for a while.
16 years.
Danny DeVito and his wife?
They're divorced.
Oh.
It's very sad.
Oh wait, John Travolta.
21 years, not the longest.
What about,
Barbara Streisand? I don't know.
She's been married like 5 times.
Oh.
Trying to
Smith?
think.
I'm gonna say I have no clue because I'm trying.
Can I give a hint?
what about Tom Cruise?
Can I give a
You know
hint?
who? He said married.
How,
You ever seen the movie, Overboard?
Overboard.
yeah.
Grumpy old men?
No, not Grumpy Old Men.
The girl from Overboard, the movie? What else was she in?
She has also a very famous daughter.
Yeah.
Who looks a lot like her, and it's on
Goldie
her.
Hawn?
Yes,
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell have been together for 29 years. Never married.
What?
They've been together for 29 years.
What's that rock guy that just Gene?
They haven't been married that long either.
No, but they've been together. How long they been together?
Not that long.
Really?
I would say like.
Didn't they have
15
kids though?
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe like 20 years.
Okay.
But according to Cosmopolitan and several other sources, it's Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Goldie met Kurt on a movie set in 1968, but they did not get together until 1983 after she divorced her second husband. So I mean, she's been with a man for 30 years and was married two times before.
Now, what's Shane's name?
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's why they didn't get married.
No, those were.
They have one stepson and one son together. So, definitely not Kim Kardashian's way of living. Just
oh,
saying.
did you really have to hit her with the 72 days?
Yes.
So you missed my 72 days when I said it at the beginning of the show.
Although I
I
think
really did.
Britney
Y'all would've said
Spears
90
has her
days.
beat because she got annulled after what? 72 hours?
Yeah.
So.
An annulment is different than a divorce though.
Well, Kim and him.
Well, they tried to get an annulment, but he took it in the length that it went through a divorce.
Yeah.
If he would
Yeah.
sign the papers, then it would have been an annulment.
Yeah. Okay, so I found this really interesting article of a couple who, in 2011, they had the Guinness record for longest married, but either they have died or something because they're no longer the longest. Anyway, their names are Herbert and Zelma Fisher.
They belong together.
Huh?
Their names just belong together.
What belongs with Zelma?
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway, in 2011, they had been married 86 years, and they were the longest married living couple. They tweet, actually. So Twitter does not necessarily kill marriages. They have, so if you're interested, you can follow them at longest married.
That's because they wasn't on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Just Twitter.
Yeah, he had blocked her, she didn't know.
That's what they're on Twitter now. They weren't on Twitter when they started.
Yeah. Zelmira, who was 103, was asked about what the secret was to their long marriage, and I was really interested in her response, because her response was, "There's no secret. There isn't any secret. It was only God that kept us together." What do y'all think about that?
Yes, Lord.
So it was divine?
Apparently, I'm just reading you the
believe-
quote, boo-boo.
You believe what you believe.
I believe he does did quite frankly.
You know what? I just want to throw out that D. Smith really did shade MySpace, talking about they was on MySpace, because MySpace is that old.
Oh,
Yeah.
good job, kid.
Yeah. I did it up there.
But another thing that I found interesting, since we're talking about relationships getting boring and having to go on extravagant trips and et cetera, they have said that they are fond of television news programs, and Herbert especially likes watching his favorite baseball team, the Atlanta Braves,
Yes.
Whack.
and that they take pleasure in
Go Phils.
sitting on their front porch to watch neighbors come and go and the railroad trains whisk by.
That's keeping it
That's
fresh.
all they
you
need.
tell me.
That's all they need. What do you think about that?
If I keep watching trains go by, I'm going to walk in front of one.
Oh,
Well, that's why you're not married.
Well, see, I heard, maybe
Um,
train is like a bus, a different one comes every 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, we're not
Options,
gonna put
baby.
the train any further.
Any further? 'cause I
Any
was there.
further.
Wow.
Um.
You were there.
I was
so were
there.
A lot of other people.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
I feel that if they enjoy something together,
If it
then,
works for you.
I mean, you said 86 years?
80,
It was 87.
86.
Okay, 86.
No, I don't know.
I think if I enjoyed watching trains go by, I don't. I would love to sit next to my significant other sipping a insert alcoholic drink here, and enjoy
You
our
drink
time together.
alcohol anymore. Your liver doesn't
I'm
function.
saying.
You're gonna die anyway, so you might as well die after you're drunk.
That's what mom says.
Okay.
Happy or
One thing I found interesting, even though I've lost my paper in front of me, they maintain their entire marriage 2 separate church memberships. So they're very, very active in church, but they go to 2 separate churches.
It happens.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think that maybe helps, because then they have their separate time, to enjoy something very important to them, but they do it separately?
It could be like their man caves.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's how he did his dirt, and that's how she did her dirt.
In the church?
And it's like, hallelujah.
We will not blaspheme that place.
Sometimes it gets scandalous.
I mean, my grandma and her husband, well, she goes to church and he does ish. So ish.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like, it is important that you get your Holy Ghost on and you don't like each other churches. You should have that time apart that you are happy what you're doing and you are confident that the other person is not doing dirt, especially in the church.
Well, that's what I was thinking. They sound like they're very active in their churches, so it's probably not just Sunday service. It's, choir practice. It takes up a lot of their time. So I was thinking, maybe for the non-religious couples, still, like, if he has a hobby, if he plays a sport, if she has a hobby, she plays a sport.
They have lives.
Exactly. If they have something outside of each other, I think it's helpful.
Yeah, I would agree, definitely, in that same light. It points to 2 things, time apart.
Mhm.
So to be able to have time where you can reflect, but if they are active, then that means they're, probably getting out, exercising, engaging in their social networks, which all of those things help keep, you fresh, keep your personal self, your personal being in good, spirit, good health. But the first thing was about how you said, all he needs is the Braves and to watch the trains and watch something else. It points to, in my opinion, that everything doesn't need to be this whole complex adventure.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's the simple things that keeps things going compared to we just have to make this an adventure. We just have to go and do amazing-ish because that's what Hollywood tells us that
Yes.
we need to do.
That we'll be bored if we're not in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Basically.
so.
I mean, is that right? Well, I was watching a video that I'm gonna actually post later on to the local Facebook page that lady was saying how desire and we want the best of both worlds.
Lola.
We want to be surprised, but at the same time we like consistency.
Uh-huh.
So she was saying that I lost my whole thought because she just walked in.
I'm sorry.
And she's so beautiful.
Love women and
Oh,
her
yeah.
beautifulness.
And it's not
Sorry,
the goodies that
sorry.
she brought in.
I mean, any of them.
I got her.
No, I said it's not the goodies that she brought in.
Oh,
But,
I got him.
I mean, just check out that video. It's like 20 minutes long, but it's very entertaining and it was an interesting. It kind of, for me, I felt like it told what women like.
Yeah.
So I mean, go check it out. Tell me how you feel about it.
Well, I had,
One thing.
okay. Yes, sir.
What my father told me, when you get into discussions with people, 2 things you don't ever talk about are politics and religion.
Yeah.
And maybe they're so set in their ways, they go to different churches, they got different beliefs. That's what helps keep them together, is because they don't ever talk about their faith.
Yes,
or
she's
their
actually a
religion.
Episcopalian and he's Baptist.
Well,
So
how
that
when
might
did
be
they
a
get married?
problem.
Where did they get married?
It does not.
Maybe the.
Probably in her church, I bet you in her church.
I'm-
I bet
It matters
you-
more to the girl usually.
Yeah,
Well, cause normally the girl's dad has to pay, so it'd be.
yeah, there is that too.
Every
Yes,
year.
tell my daddy.
2 more things I wanted to point out before we go. The article did speak about the hardships they had gone through and maybe how that bonded them together. Like they lived through the Great Depression, where he was making a nickel a week, and they had 5 kids.
Oh, heck.
You know, so they had to live off of that, and it talked about how they had to actually, you know, as adults, they would ration their food so that their children could eat. You know, and I think that has a lot to do with it too. It's not always about taking extravagant trips, but when your significant other is there for you, especially through the roughest moments of your life, I think that really holds it together. And the one last thing I wanted to share in my little segment, there's a quote from their granddaughter that I just thought was the sweetest thing, and it shows how that their love has shined through down to the generations. She says, they cherish each other. If they had to be apart, their lives wouldn't be as fruitful. They are connected, they are soulmates.
Aww.
And I just, yes, that is exactly what I said. I said, aww. But I liked how she talked about, like, they've been together 86 years, and they still don't like being apart. They've kept it fresh.
Well, at this point, they might, one of them might die if they walk away from it.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
I'm just
You
saying.
rained on my
I'm
house.
The first part you said?
Parade.
The
Sorry.
first part? You said 2 things, what was the first one?
They cherish each other.
No,
and,
not what the girl said.
Oh, what they had to live through, like living through
Oh.
the Great Depression and.
One thing I wanted to add to that is like what Sunshine B and Demo and myself were talking about earlier was keeping it fresh. You know, Demo was talking about, you know, volunteering or something. You know, going through that together and
Yeah.
the instant gratification. You know, the same thing. Like, oh, I remember back in the day when we had a penny to live off of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, very good.
I agree.
I'm saying, if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything.
You can make it through 86 years.
Because, I mean, if
And
all I
be
have is a
grateful.
nickel, I'm throwing you that too.
Well, on the
Wow.
video, not throwing
Wow.
things at people, you know, 'cause we're not children. On the video, the lady said, married people are, live longer, are happier in their relationship, and are also have happier and more successful children, so.
That's good. All right, well, this is Lady Moxie, and that's the end of my first alone segment. We will be back in just a minute. Thank you. I really gotta quit.
You are
Thank
killing me with
Oh,
this.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Automatic.
Saving it all, saving all my love for you.
Oh, I love this song.
You know, like, ready for
That's wonderful. That was awesome.
that was great.
Yeah.
You did
It sounded good in the radio
Yeah,
itself
yeah,
also,
thank you.
'cause I was listening
I
on
think
it.
I like your dress. Where'd you get it from?
I'm glad my mother
I don't
was
like my dress. I don't like
versed
you.
in
This is
music.
like one of my
I can
favorites.
appreciate those stuff.
On your list.
I'm tall, so I gotta like.
Yeah.
Hey, I follow that.
have,
I did, it
The
kind
last time
of
she was
froze.
actually dressed up, I had to have him 5 inches.
Did you fill out your information?
Wait, did you stop recording?
I was trying to, I just kind of.
I just grabbed it on my
I'd be
car.
random and ask these lovely people in the school.
There's something